At its core, competition is about authenticity, a pure test of skill, strategy, and heart. Every punch, takedown, and submission represents countless hours of preparation, all for the thrill of fair competition. This integrity is what makes combat sports so compelling, drawing millions of fans and driving one of the fastest-growing industries in the world, sports betting.
Get in on the action with my partners, DraftKings.
Use code StyleBender307 when you sign up on Stake.
I see that you're very interested in the betting side of things. Like, how often do you partake in this?
Oh, I bet every single card, just about every fight.
Really?
I do pretty well at it. I make more money gambling on MMA than I do anything else.
If I'm going to try to throw a fight, you got to set me up for life. Because I'm going to get banned from my sport. I'm going to go to jail for, God knows how long. That he got 10 months and he didn't do it. What would he have got if he did it? Right?
But you're a smart person.
Yeah. That's unfortunately we deal with a lot of stupid people, but I don't know if you're that stupid.
Match fixing in any kind of professional sport is a crime. Because of the criminal nature of fixing a fight, we will probably never know the full extent of how many fights are fixed. MMA is now a global phenomenon, with much more eyeballs and scrutiny than in its formative years in the early 90s. But on its fringe beginnings, especially in Japan, where MMA and professional wrestling intertwined, works, dives, and fixed fights allegedly took place. In today's video, we return to the murky waters of fight fixing to examine some controversial bouts that have left fans questioning the authenticity of the sport they love.
I remember the first time I saw Ryan Bader in the men's bathroom backstage at a UFC event. I was shocked by how big he was.
Nobuhiko Takada versus Kyle Sturgeon, Pride 3. We kick things off with a familiar face in Nobuhiko Takada. The Japanese pro wrestler was making his second fight after transitioning into MMA and losing his debut to the legendary Rickson Gracie. Heavily promoted by Pride as a major draw, at Pride 3 Takada faced Kyle Sturgeon, an unknown fighter with minimal MMA experience, whose only fight was this exact match. The bout was set up to rehabilitate Takada's image after his prior legitimate defeats and to elevate Pride's profile. Take a look at this first exchange. From the start, the fight raised eyebrows due to the lack of realism in the exchanges. Sturgeon's strikes appeared extremely light and lacked power. Takada exaggerated his reactions to these strikes, akin to professional wrestling theatrics. Fight culminated in Takada winning via a heel hook submission, but the sequence leading to this moment seemed highly choreographed. Sturgeon appeared to offer minimal resistance. Observers, including analysts and fans, have labeled this fight as a clear work or predetermined match. Pride's reliance on such matches during its early days was aimed at building stars and ensuring crowd-pleasing outcomes.
As far as the first fight, this is the truth. That was a misunderstanding of the rules. And the way I thought it worked was that if you tapped, you lost that round. So I thought what they would do is they go to a judge's decision, they go 4 rounds to 1, and we go home and I'd be the new champion. And if anyone had explained to me that that stops the bout in its entirety, I would not have tapped.
So really it's been more about just educating yourself on the rules this time around? And
It was a complete misunderstanding.
but this time, no misunderstanding.
Now I get it. I'd never been in a 5-round fight, so it was new. I just didn't know. You guys should remember that.
In a very similar note, we have future WWE employee Nathan Jones versus former sumo fighter Mitsuharo Kitao at Pride FC1. In another clear work from the murky beginnings of Pride Championship, Kitao, a former sumo wrestler transitioning to MMA, faced the physically imposing Nathan Jones, who was going into his one and only fight in professional mixed martial arts. Despite their intimidating appearances, with both men weighing well over 300 pounds, the fight ended quickly when Kitao defeated Jones via keylock submission just 2:14 into the first round. The fight is a clear product of its time, stemming from the intertwined nature of MMA and pro wrestling in Japan. Kitao's movements and Jones's reactions resembled rehearsed techniques more than authentic combat. Jones's inexperience might explain some of the awkwardness, but many observers have argued that the match was one of many choreographed to boost a certain fighter's reputation in the newly formed Pride FC. MMA veteran Gary Goodridge, who also fought on that faithful inaugural Pride event, can explain the situation.
Absolutely, it happened. Pride 1, about 75% of their matches were fixed. Probably 2. About 50% of their matches were fixed. Probably 3. About 25% of their matches were fixed. Probably 4, maybe 10%. And it just went down from there. The company fixed them. Say they wanted, it was something new in Japan. And they needed to get people on their side. So they had pro wrestlers come in and fight each other. And they had fighters from America come over there and fight each other, other people over there, and that's what they did.
Okay, I want to explain that I took a DNA test and the results came back French and German, British and Irish, and I was 2% African. So I am legally allowed to say the word nigga.
We now move from Japan to Chechnya for a couple fights related to Ramzan Kadyrov's sons, both personally involved in a robbery and a fix. The Chechen leader holds a peculiar place in MMA, being heavily involved in fighters' careers, most notably Khamzat Chimaev, while also launching his own gym franchise and MMA championship, known as Akhmat MMA, and paying fighters a monthly stipend to train and represent the club wherever they compete. Kadyrov has also used sports to launder his reputation abroad and distract from his long list of human rights abuses. First, we have a boxing match between Adam Kadyrov, Ramzan's 16-year-old son, who today serves as his father's head of the security service. Adam, who at the time was 14 years old, is pushing forward, but fighting with smaller gloves than his opponent. He lacks technique in comparison to his opponent and keeps getting countered until the ref sees enough and awkwardly stops the bout, awarding Adam the victory. Don't ask me why. Next, we have Ramzan Kadyrov's 15-year-old son, Ali Kadyrov, who in 2022 won his pro MMA debut in a farce of a fight for the Akhmat MMA promotion, owned by his father. The teenager also had UFC star Khamzat Chimaev in his corner and fought Islam Akbarov, who was also making his pro debut. The fight started off quite regularly, until we get to the apparent knockdown and finish. Islam appeared to be rocked by a kick that did not land, and proceeded to be finished on the ground by Kadyrov. To add insult to injury, the official broadcast did not show any replays. Despite being clearly a fix, MMA journalist Karim Zidan points out that some bookmakers offered odds on the fight for anyone who wants to make some very questionable money. Ramzan Kadyrov's involvement in MMA is a big rabbit hole for another video, but his grip on the Chechen martial arts scene is clear for anyone to see.
A terrible name for a dog would have to be a person's name, like Steve or like Dick. You don't name your dogs those. Those are human names, and I'd say that'd probably be the worst name, is name your dog Dick.
The fight between Ken Shamrock and Kimbo Slice at Bellator 138 has been a persistent topic of controversy, with many accusing it of being a fixed fight. The whole main card being broadcast on Spike TV and relied on the two big-name veterans to deliver the main event of the night. A weird choice, knowing Ken Shamrock, an MMA legend, was 51 years old at the time, while Kimbo, the street fighting legend turned pro, was 41, with 5 years since his last fight.
Kimbo Slice, Ken Shamrock fight.
That fight looked fake as fuck.
That's what I was gonna think. Literally, that's what I thought.
There's a couple things I don't like about that fight. I don't like that clinch, that long clinch that they had where they were mouth to ear. They were mouth to each other's ears for
and
a
no one was really
fucking
striking.
time.
Like
No
if
one
you're
was
a kid and
striking.
you're a wrestler, I'm popping those elbows and fucking taking you down.
How about the fact that when
He had him stretched out in
when
a full
Ken
choke.
did take him down, he never hit him once. How about that? He never hit him. He had him down. He had him flattened out. He had his back, but he's not crashing him. He's not blasting him with punches.
True.
He's got him flattened out, and he's not hitting him. That doesn't make any sense.
He also had a full choke.
choke.
I know, but he's
Sort of.
also 51.
That's true.
And a fighter 51.
The main contention comes from the strange sequence where Shamrock seemingly had a fully locked rear naked choke but failed to finish Kimbo, leading to a sudden reversal and Kimbo's knockout victory.
But if Ken doesn't get this, will he have any arm strength left? And Kimbo's out. Slice back to his feet and unloading with the right hand. It was all Ken Shamrock, now all Kimbo Slice. Drop Shamrock and the count for behind win in the Bellator cage for Kimbo Slice.
Shamrock has vehemently denied the fight was fixed. He explained that his failure to secure the choke was a technical mistake on his part, not an intentional move to let Kimbo escape.
as I'm sitting here, as God is my witness, that fight was not fixed. It was just things that happened in that fight that weren't normal.
I was a great fighter at one time. And for when someone sees me, and even trained with me at times, sees something like that happen, their mind is like, there's no way that can happen to Ken Shamrock. But hey, age gets to everyone.
This is what we call realization. Things happen in fights, and what people are used to seeing from Ken Shamrock, and then seeing what they saw against Kimbo. Understandably why you would think that, because you're used to seeing something different. But I've got bad knees. When I hit the ground, I don't scramble my feet very well. When I'm on the ground and I got a submission, I do well. My stand-up's good. But when I hit the ground and I got to scramble back up, I'm slow. I just don't move that well.
The work that I put in, the effort, the years, the damage to my body, it's just an insult. It's an insult because that's not in my DNA. I don't go in there and do that stuff. Not in that instance. No way.
Another interview from Kimbo's own BJJ coach, Malachy Friedman, explains some of the nuance of the finishing sequence and the seemingly effortless escape by Kimbo despite Shamrock's experience in submissions.
I said, no, do it again. He's like, oh, do it again. And he puts me in and I get out. Well, the way I was getting out was because I figured that Ken Shamrock wouldn't have changed much of his technique. So he did the rear naked choke here and then tried to put the arm over the head.
Yep.
Right? And we all know that peeling the hand off the head and then trying to lift that over is going to be the escape in a 1997 rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Like, even today I call it the Ken Shamrock 1997 rear naked choke because he's not doing this.
Right.
You know, he's not things in like a modern black belt.
Yeah.
You know? So I was able to show him that, and he got put into the choke. He got out, then knocked him out.
Despite these claims, there is no concrete proof to confirm the fight was fixed. The Missouri Athletic Commission, which oversaw the bout, did not report any irregularities. The controversy surrounding Shamrock versus Kimbo Slice reflects the challenges MMA faces with perception issues. While fans and analysts remain divided, the lack of tangible evidence means the fight remains speculative rather than definitive proof of foul play. The debate has since become a part of MMA's folklore, adding intrigue to both fighters' legacies.
What the fuck is he wearing? He looks like a little breakdancer or something, a little 12-year-old breakdancer, bitch. What the fuck? He's 40. You're 40 years of age. Dress your fucking age. Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read.
Last but not least, we have the fight between Kuntz and Tae-Hyun Bang at UFC Fight Night 79, UFC's first time in South Korea. At the time, there didn't seem to be a lot wrong with the fight, which featured some back and forth action.
Hold on. Tae-Hyun Bang and Kuntz.
Tae-Hyun Bang, Kuntz.
Hey, did you hear about the Bang/Kuntz?
Bang versus Kuntz was scandal? Crazy.
It's the Bang-Kuntz fight fixing scandal.
This could have been a forgettable bout in a preliminary fight night card, but has become infamous in MMA history for its connection to confirmed fight-fixing attempts. Just over a year later, the MMA world was stunned when Bang was sentenced to a 10-month prison sentence in his native South Korea for apparently taking a bribe to throw his fight against Kuntz. In the days leading up to the fight, betting lines shifted dramatically. Tae-Hyun Bang, initially a small favorite, became a heavy underdog as large sums of money were wagered on his opponent, Kuntz.
But apparently when the odds, someone put in $1 million bet on me to win, so the odds swung in my favor like 700 points or something in one minute.
This unusual activity immediately raised red flags backstage. Despite allegedly agreeing to throw the fight, Bang reconsidered on fight night due to pressure from UFC officials.
Real high up guys you don't really know or whatever, you know, came up and talked to me, and they're basically like, hey, listen, there's a big odds swing that came in, and We just want you to know that, you know, just go out there and do your best and make sure that you're fighting as hard as you can. You know, and I had no idea what was going on because I'm not a sports bettor or any of that type of shit. So
He ended up fighting competitively, narrowly winning via split decision, although Leo Kuntz might disagree.
You know, because like he had me in a fucking rear naked choke, and he was trying to fucking choke me out.
That's
You
insane,
can
though.
tell when someone's not trying to fight. You know.
Bang later confessed to accepting a bribe worth approximately $92,000 from South Korean gangsters to intentionally lose the fight, from which half of it he bet on Kuntz's win. Following the event, Bang was investigated under South Korea's National Sports Promotion Act, and a year later in 2017, he was convicted of accepting the bribe and sentenced to 10 months in prison, becoming the first UFC fighter implicated and punished for fight fixing. One of the gangster who approached Bang was Korean MMA veteran Dae-Won Kim, which leads speculation as to how deep the Korean fight-fixing scheme goes.
I lost the only known fixed fight in the UFC.
Yo, assalamu alaikum, my niggas. What's good? Bounce.
One fight that almost certainly was fixed was Mark Coleman's submission loss to Nobuhiko Takada at Pride 5 in 1999. At the time, Takada was already an established pro wrestling star, looking to rebound from his second loss against Rickson Gracie, while Coleman was debuting in Japan and had lost his last 3 fights in the UFC. Coleman was the far superior fighter and was in the driving seat before standing still for a suspiciously long time, while Takada put a heel hook submission to the
No. He's giving it. What the hell? Oh, no. Coleman's got to pull. He's got to get out. He's got to get out of this.
Oh, no.
There's no. What? Wait a minute. He's. Oh, no. I don't believe this. How the hell did that happen?
Years later, in an interview with Jonathan Snowden, Coleman stated, "It was what it was. I needed to support my family. They guaranteed me another fight after that, and I needed that security. It was what it was. I'm going to leave it at that."
Then Coleman made 2 mistakes, you know. One's doing it, the other was letting somebody know about it who fucking talked about it.
Man, I'm a sexy guy, DC. What's wrong with you, man?
Honorable mention, Matt Hughes versus Jeremy Horn at the 2000 ADCC Championship. The grappling match between Matt Hughes and Jeremy Horn is another of the few confirmed instances where a bout was fixed. This was not an MMA fight, but involves 2 MMA legends and training partners. According to reports and later admissions by both athletes, the fight was manipulated. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Hughes was bumped 2 weight classes and put with Horn in the 215-pound class. The pair met in the quarterfinals to decide who would advance to fight Jeff Monson in the semifinals. The cash incentive added a bonus to the teammates who already wanted to throw the fight, so for them, it was an easy decision.
And then Matt Hume, who was kind of running things, comes up to us and kind of on the sly says, "Hey guys, just so you know, they're giving a $2,500 bonus for the best throw of the match and a $2,500 bonus for fastest submission of the match."
What a good dude. That's a friend. That's a friend.
And so Hughes and I are like, well,
we'll do both.
Let's do it. Yeah, fuck them. They're going to screw us. You know, if they put us on opposite ends of the bracket, we would go at it for the finals. Yeah. We're going to make some fucking money. So yes, we decided, Matt, we're going to get the best. We're going to get the best throw and fastest submission. And obviously, and then Henzo's guy got a faster submission.
Hughes later lost to Jeff Monson and Tito Ortiz, claiming 4th place in that year's championship. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this second video of the series. Leave a like to help with the algorithm and comment which fight would you like to see on the next episode. If you can, please subscribe to the channel. Just 1% of you are subscribed, and it would mean a lot for me if you do. Stay safe and catch you all later.
Cuba!
Stand your base. Stand your base. The space is your space, yeah? Go ahead, carry on.
Connor, take the glasses off. For sure, no problem.